Welcome, ladies and gents, to another BTNeanderthal video. Today, we're doing Pay to Play Episode 7. We just actually finished everything, and this is the review of the Curse Necromancer Dark Pact build in Season 2, Project Diablo 2. So, as always, we start off with the leveling phase, and then we go and do endgame. The leveling phase, from like level 1 through 6, up until you get Dark Pact, was kind of difficult. You know, you're a Necromancer, you gotta go melee stuff. You're putting points into curses, and not in a summoning, because normally, like, if you're going summoning or corpse explosion or something else, like, you have something that helps you immediately from level 1, whereas amp damage at level 1 pretty much does next to nothing, and you're meleeing, and it also doesn't last long. So it was a little bit of a struggle getting level 6, but after I hit level 6, you slap on players 8, and damage is just insane. All the way up to like level 15 or so. You know, we figured out that the best leveling route for this, for Dark Pact, would be like as few points as you can into its synergies. You just want to like max out Dark Pact as fast as possible. You just put 1 point here, 4 points there, and then at level 6 you get this, and you make sure you have 1 point into Iron Maiden. Something that this build really struggles on is bosses and single target DPS as a major issue. So you have to make sure that you get Iron Maiden and that you get Clay Golem, so you can keep summoning it next to the bosses, and the bosses keep hitting themselves until they die. Blood Warp is very good for mobility, and Golem Mastery 1 point is good for the survivability of the golems if you end up actually putting or having a lot of plus skills. I wouldn't necessarily do this in the leveling phase, but you can do that. So because it was sponsored by Calrune, this run, the whole Dark Pact build, he didn't have a whole lot of time today, so he wanted me to focus on the endgame build, and we saw the damage output through the playthrough. It was like a normal playthrough, mostly, and the damage output was pretty good, at least in dense areas. It was very slow, like I said, against single target. Overall, I think you could get through hell with this build pretty much no problem, as long as you don't mind going a little bit slower. But in maps, okay, and endgame, we'll talk about that now. Yeah, damage. So you basically have to play this build like really differently. Like, if it doesn't have density, it's not worth it, type of thing. It's just 2 curses. Like, if you go hard, you could probably kill everybody. Yeah. And this is not 100. This is 100 FCR, dude. This is not 125. Let's try players 8. Good work. Training set seems to like players 8 training set is like it's okay. But it's like it's not the best. Yeah, I think I need to like roll density on the maps just to like showcase the build better. But the thing is, the map, the freaking pluggy thing doesn't come with stacks. What is happening to my map right now? Why are we in the cow level? Apparently, there's only so much space allocated for all the maps to exist, so they overlap. That was literally 2 curses and I killed that pack. Shrang's is okay, but it's suffering a little bit on tier 3s. Like, Curse Necromancer is not an uber build, but it is amazing for support. Like, look at how slow Duriel is, man. Look at how slow Duriel is. Now, if you had someone come in there to help you and kill, like, Duriel, this is easily the best support build for just doing Ubers in general. Look at how slow Lilith is. Like, you probably use different curses depending on the team. Like, you might use Decrypt. You wouldn't use Weekend and Iron Maiden with Decrypt because that's terrible for the Iron Maiden. Right, but this is just a showcase of, like, showing you... My Merc would actually probably kill Isuel. Like, he would actually probably kill Isuel over time. Yeah, Merc insta dies, which makes sense. Oh, and he has, like, curse reduction. Declone has, like, curse reduction on him. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. Okay. I am still gonna go and say that this is not uber viable. It is the best support in the game. As far as if you're gonna do two-mans, like a character that's just gonna usually solo Ubers, this Necromancer will help in, like, every scenario. In major ways. 140 density. Perfect. It's fine. Does it have magic absorb? Okay, we don't. Oops. Look, an amulet, chat.
40's my limit. Nice knowing you keep it real, Kappa.
Jeez, dude. He's gone, huh? Thank you very much, man, for the 40 months. I'll see you in the next life. It's a lot of dolls, boys. Seems like we need FHR really badly on this build. This is one of those 5-head builds where you have to actually know the monster's health, to know how many curses you actually need, to know in what situation to use how many curses based on the amount of mobs around, not even just the monster's health. There we go. No magic absorb. Perfect. This is great for testing. They also have velocity, which is like super sick for kiting. Wow, dude, this is actually so much fun. Look at this. Deleted. Guys, by the way, this build is literally free on the trade site, pretty much like one of the cheapest strong builds in the entire game right now. Not for long though, after saying that.
Thanks BT, I have to go to bed now. The build is insane for sure. See you after the D3 hype.
Sounds good, man. You beast. Yeah, as soon as like I start actually understanding how many curses every monster needs and how many curses I need depending on the monster types and stuff, like this build's gonna get freaking nutty. Like I'm playing it pretty badly right now. This is actually too much fun. I just want to keep playing. Like legit. This is like a very unique build. Dungeon. We could do a chaos run, I guess, and see how that feels, but like we know that density is already like the main thing that makes this build work. Wow, you can actually one curse these guys down? Jeez. Dude, this is stronger than Hammerden. An actual ohm? Nope. Like, it's clearing faster, but it's like, this build is not one that's gonna 100% anything. Like, it's all about killing as much as you can, moving to the next area, collecting as much as you can to kill as much as you can, as fast as you can. Like, look, but my damage against, like, Diablo is, like, terrible, see? We got him. The synergies, the most important ones, are Curse Mastery, Iron Maiden, and Dark Pact. And then the rest is kind of the playstyle that you want to choose. Right? And this kind of gets into what I was talking about. It's like, first of all, you got to know what you're up against. Are you playing in a group? If you're playing in a group, you can just put on amp damage for your group, like if they're doing physical damage. Now, if you're playing in a group that's mostly elemental, you can use Lore Resist. If you're playing by yourself, you might want to use Life Tap for Mercenary, Weaken, Decrep, Amp Damage, whatever you might actually want to do. So, the cool thing about this build is it has flexibility in the playstyle that you actually feel like you want to play. So, what I was doing was Amp Damage, Life Tap, and Weaken for my Mercenary, because I like when the monsters move around fast, because it makes them easy to kite and explode behind me. That's the other thing, is you can kill monsters with one curse, but you can't kill some with one curse. You might need 2, you might need 3. Depends on the monster's HP and the magic resist. This is one of these builds where, like, it's probably really difficult to master because you have to know the monster's HP when you look at the map. Like attributes and affixes on like different maps, right? Like rare maps with maximum life and magic absorb and things like that. then you're going to have to adjust your playstyle based on the monster's HP and how many curses are you going to need before you detonate with Dark Pact. That's something that, you know, will take time to learn and experience with this build. That's kind of unique with everything. Highly suggest that if you want to give it a shot. It is extremely strong. I'm going to tell you a quick story about my friend Unsullied, who was the first ever 99 assassin in Season 1, and now he's playing Dark Pact as Season 2. He bought a pretty much perfect +1 black hand key, basically perfect for 1 Hive rune. For 1 Hive rune. This build is extremely cheap. This is a very extremely cheap build. Basically you just need the curse, like, it does need FHR, so I would say probably get like FHR skillers. But like, not saying this one because this is just the test character and the test build, but like, you know, this build can be extremely cheap. There's a lot of different ways you can go. FCR is extremely important on this build because it determines how much you can dish out your damage and how quickly you can get your curses down on the field. So, anyways, thank you all for watching. Much love. You guys are beasts.